عليكم. عايزين نقرب شويه من جو رابعه عشان اعرف اتكلم، بس كل يرفع ايده فوق برابعه. يسقط حكم العسكر. يسقط حكم العسكر. انا هقول شويه هتافات كنا بنقولها في رابعه عشان بس نقرب من الجو. اضرب ميه اضرب نار. اضرب ميه اضرب نار. محمد مرسي رئيس جبار. اضرب بالقناصة. اضرب بالقناصة. لسه في جسمي مكان رصاصة. اضرب ميه اضرب بارود. مش هتشوف الا الصمود. اضرب ميه اضرب بارود. مش هتشوف الا الصمود. Okay, I'm gonna share a couple of stories from what I witnessed in Rabaa. I apologize, half my voice was gone in the march. So the first story, the message I want to deliver from that story is not a message of sympathy. The message I want to deliver from the first story is actually a message of defiance. Because in Rabaa Square, there were males and there were females, but everybody in Rabaa were men. In Rabaa Square, there were adults and there were children, but everybody in Rabaa were still men. Anywhere in the world, if God forbid there's an explosion or people start shooting, naturally people run away from the danger. In Rabaa Square, when people start shooting, when they hear an explosion, when they see tear gas, people run towards the tear gas, they run towards the bullets, towards their death. Why do they do that? Because they believe in a cause. They believe in a cause not just to protect Rabaa Square, they believe in a cause that they are defending democracy, they are defending Islam in their country. The story I'm going to say is the story of my two little sisters, Yara and Sara. They are 13 and 14 years old. Yara and Sara were in Rabaa Square from day one. They were more insisting to go to Rabaa Square than I was myself. I was always trying to keep them back and get them to go home early because I was worried about them. And I never let them go to Rabaa Square without me being with them. On the night of the 13th, what happens is that they insisted to go to Rabaa Square and I couldn't go for some reason. And I stayed at home. And I insisted that they come back right after Isha prayer, which is naturally when they should. And they refused and they told my mom, just let us stay this night. What I found out later is that the reason they specifically asked to stay that night is that they knew and there was information that this was very probably the night that the Rabaa Square was gonna be attacked. Anyway, my mom convinced me that this is the last night we'll let them stay. And that's what happened. I was woken up at 6 in the morning by my elder sister and she told me that Rabaa Square is now being attacked and my two little sisters were in the square. Naturally, I got ready and I went right to Rabaa Square. By the time I got there, I think you guys all saw the videos. It was a war zone. About 5 kilometers away from Rabaa Square, I could smell the tear gas. I could see the burning smoke. I could see at least 8 helicopters in the air. And the automatic gunfire would not stop. What I did not see when I was going to Rabaa is people getting out. What I saw when I went to Rabaa at that time was only people trying to get in. Get in where there was tear gas, where there was fire, where the bulldozers were bulldozing the tents out, where the automatic gunfire was not stopping. And I tried my best to get there because I had to get my sisters out. That's all what I was thinking. And unfortunately, I got to a point where I felt that there was no way of getting in. Everybody was being shot. Everybody trying to get close was being shot in the side roads and everywhere. I kind of lost hope and I called my mom and I tried to tell her that I don't think we'll ever see my sisters again. I tried to deliver that message to her just to get her ready. A few seconds later, my sister called me from inside and she told me, if you're trying to come and get us, don't come. You're gonna get shot. Go away. Let us do what we need to do. What I didn't mention is that my two little sisters were actually working in the field square. They were working in sorting out and distributing medicine, and they had basic first aid training. They were working in the field square every night since the second massacre of the Manassa. When my sister called me, she gave me a lot of hope that they were still alive and well, and I insisted to go in. And alhamdulillah, I finally got in. And to my surprise, when I got in and my sister saw me, she wasn't happy. She said, why did you come here? if you're gonna take us home, we did not come to Rab'a every night for you to come and get us out now. That was the defiance by the girls and the children before the men of Rab'a Square. Anyway, I insisted on getting them out, and I did get them out the square, alhamdulillah, and we left, but we never left the vicinity of Rab'a. We got out of the danger zone and we stayed around Rab'a until the very end, until Rab'a Square was cleared. A few hours later, my brother came and he joined me because a few of his friends were actually killed, and we were trying to go back inside to get their bodies, but we failed. Basically, the message is people did not leave Rab'a Square until not 4 p.m. even, until 6 p.m. that night, when the masjid was surrounded, when the policemen started burning the dead bodies, and they gave the doctors the last place in the square that remained was the field hospital, and they gave the doctors 5 minutes to evacuate or they will burn them with the bodies and the injured people. The doctors did get out and they did burn the bodies and the injured people. The second story I want to share is the story of Ramses massacre. And the message I want to deliver from that story is that what the police and the army are doing in Egypt, they're not even violently dispersing sit-ins. They're not carrying out riot control. What they're doing is they're basically annihilating the opposition. There was a march in Ramses Square coming from Bula. I got to Ramses before Friday prayer and the square was perfectly calm. Nobody was getting near any police stations or even doing anything that might instigate the police force. A few hours later, actually a couple hours later, there was a march coming from Bula, which anyway is close to Ramses Square. And the march has to go above a bridge. This bridge goes across a police station, and there is no access from the bridge to the police station in any way. You can never reach the police station from that bridge. As the march got on the bridge, they sent 2 cop cars, 2 mudarra'at, like 2 armored vehicles, behind the march, and they cut them off from the bridge exit. And from their front, the police station started firing at them. And from the back, the 2 armored vehicles started firing at them with no way to escape. They were annihilating them. I was just sitting at the other side of the bridge, and an old man came down and he sat on the pavement and he started crying. I didn't know what was happening yet, but I was surprised to see this old man, like old adult, sitting down on the pavement and just crying. I asked him if he was hurt or if someone dear to him was shot up there, and he said no. He said what happened on the bridge was that we were running, and people on my side, on my left-hand side, on my right-hand side, behind me and in front of me were just falling down like flies. And I was running not knowing if I will make it or not. He said that I thought as long as I can hear bullet fire, I was still alive, and that's the only idea I had in my mind. And he told me that the women on the bridge were asking them to pick them up and throw them off the bridge from the fear of the situation. It was really bad. And to shoot people, they were marching just like we were right now, trying to get to Ramses Square to voice their opinion, and the police were just trying to finish them off on the bridge. I hope we keep fighting, because people in Egypt are fighting and they're not going home. The numbers of people are increasing in the street, and we need to show them our support. Coming out today, we don't just deliver a message to the Canadians about what's going on. We deliver a message to the Egyptians that we stand by them, that we will do whatever we can. What are we trying to do? To take down the coup. أن يسقط حكم العسكر. يسقط حكم العسكر. احنا الشعب الخط الأحمر. احنا الشعب الخط الأحمر. ارحل يا سيسي. ارحل يا سيسي. مرسي رئيسي. ارحل يا سيسي. مرسي رئيسي. السلام عليكم.